Heyo, Cool Skeleton 111 here. How y'all doing? Alright, well, today we're getting back into Ace Attorney. Alright. Well, I can't actually remember where we left off. So, are you ready to figure out where we are? Let's go! Alright, looks like the audio is working. And please be aware, there will be some very awkward voice acting. Woo! I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so, because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So, you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No. I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, whom, may I ask, is this person you're speaking of? The one I am supposedly afraid of. Frightened of. What is this person's name? I think I know. He's been kinda fishy. Take that! Well, Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, you are addressing the Chief Prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he's respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edward will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that the Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was Me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you. But also one other. Damon Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. Oh, wait. This. Take that! Because he hid it. You want proof of the Chief's wrongdoings? Here it is! That evidence proves someone is doing something wrong, all right. But it's not the Chief. Who would that be? Why, you, of course. Me? Yes. You seriously believe that what you're saying, don't you? Now that's scary. You seem to have the makings of a criminal in you. What with all your fallacious accusations? Care to spend tonight in the cell next to mine? If you ask me, you're the scary one. Okay, so that was the wrong one. Alright, so which one is it? Okay, so we don't know what that is or what it's from. So, it's the other thing. Take that! Hello, one! Welcome in! How you doing? I just found this in the safe of the Chief's office. This jar piece and this cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. Yeah, I'm doing alright. Much EP. No. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It is as you surmised. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate in the murder of Detective Goodman. Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edward's car. The trunk was locked. The trunk lock was broken, and I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edward's knife? No. When I found the body, this was stuck in the knife. This knife was stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him. So I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edward's knife? That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that is the reason... And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand? Yes. It seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then... she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Starr, huh? Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So, you hid Dark's knife? The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. So if word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with it. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. In Edward's exhaust pipe. Right. Then I called my sister. To tell her what happened, and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma's so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least, I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean... not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. had already stolen the ID card. But it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room? I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you have earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's the trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything! Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. Oh man, we were that close to the end last time. Alright. Yeah, let's save. February 25th, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. This is the defendant lobby, all right. But there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma? For that matter. It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Edgeworth! Knowing you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 77's ID number is, that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True. Not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right, and Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty. But she didn't do it! I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth. Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it.
See you in court, Wright.
This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. February 25th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 9.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make.
Chief Gant?
Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Archie. Been back to the pool yet? No, I've been rounding enough, as it is in my own work. Oh, that is a good one. Don't think I can stop. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, what exactly is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say...
I'm trying to get his voice.
Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court.
She wants to do what?
Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. What is this all about, defendant?
I'd just like to make one simple request, and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No! Lana!
Objection!
You can't! Your Honor, the defense's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But Lana! Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. The request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise.
This can't be happening!
It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant...
Objection!
One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth! The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you. But why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut? I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gunt. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With that sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Who? To whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Scar. I request the court hears her testimony.
Mr. Edgeworth, I am not exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue.
I don't care what you think, Miss Scar. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Kent? Worthy, you live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Sky, please take the stand.
Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins.
Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Emma. Emma Sky. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister. And I want to be a scientific investigator.
2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dock of the Joe Dock killings. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, it most certainly is. Well, okay then. You sure gave it fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago.
The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. Two years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me. But I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with the Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor.
You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence.
Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
2 years ago. Let's go ahead and press on this one.
Hold it!
Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on dark. Just then, the lights went out.
The light?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on, and the lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out?
Wait a minute! If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right. But just then, lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes. Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. Well, let's keep listening. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago? Yes. That's what was so scary about all this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw?
Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. Hello, Ritsu. Welcome in. How you doing? A picture. Yes, I think she mentioned that before.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
Ask about the picture. Thank you, one. The picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning.
But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Oh, heck yeah!
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your seems to have been lost, huh? Then, what do you call this? Ooh, sounds fun. Maybe I should do another art stream soon. Been meaning to get some art stuff out. Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet, you would insist on denying its existence?
Hey, I'm not the bad guy! All I'm saying is that, as the prosecutor for this case, I wasn't handed such a picture.
That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold!
This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident!
Please turn it over, Your Honor.
Turn it over? Turn it? Hey! What's this?
Yes.
Yes! What is that?
Hey! That's it! That's the picture I drew!
Indeed! Two men appear to be wrestling here.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Hey! These lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here, where they were torn apart from each other.
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth? It's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago. Only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you.
What? What? Order! Order! But Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor!
Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head!
If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list.
Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let me see. Is something wrong?
Do you even have to ask?
Sorry, Your Honor. There's indeed something drawn on the back of my list. Is that thing...
Oh my gosh.
Rich, that thing! That thing that was dancing in the evidence room? Clearly this is an act of vandalism in the work of a certain chief of detectives.
I guess he was out of scrap paper. Evidence list restored and updated in court record.
Very well, witness. Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Uh-huh. Oh, yes, sir. Your Honor? What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. Emma's picture. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image into your mind!
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Doug about the murder prosecutor. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Alright, here we go. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course! This is the exact scene! It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives?
Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright?
No, of course not. I better watch out, or he might find some way to cut my salary. He drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives. So, I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Mr. Wright? Is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Oh, well, that's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. Okay, let's take a look at the evidence again. Case file. Permit chest wound. Wait a minute. That doesn't look like a knife. I mean, it kinda does, but like, a knife would be pointier, wouldn't it? I don't know if I should present the knife or not. Okay, well... so this is the one that we need here. So, hold on. If he didn't stab him yet... Yeah, it's a candle. Nah. But yeah, if he didn't stab him yet, the knife should still be pointy. I'm gonna save just in case, but I think that's what we need to do there.
Objection!
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report?
Take that!
The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see the tip is broken.
Even if I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright.
But, Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken, too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was the conclusive piece of the evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
Objection!
And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem?
It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
Objection!
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand.
Objection!
Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside of the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right.
Objection!
What does this mean? The tip of the knife was found undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken.
Objection!
That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly.
What? There's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
Objection!
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence?
You're treading on thin ice, Wright.
All I'm saying is that this knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility.
No! Order! 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 Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie.
I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of there being two broken knives?
Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? There could be another one. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error.
Mr. Wright!
In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife.
I assume that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us.
The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. Probably this.
Take that!
The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here, inside this picture.
This picture of the awards ceremony? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon.
Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding?
That's a broken knife!
As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award.
Order! Order! Order!
Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. Then, he chased after Joe Dark. He pulled out his knife. This knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation.
Objection!
But that can't be!
Oh. And why not, Mr. Edgeworth?
Because if the King of Prosecutors awarded award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed.
What do you mean?
I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh.
Ah! But the prosecutor was the one who actually died.
That's true. What's going on here?
It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Hold it! Wait! I remember now! I remember everything!
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth!
What is it?
Could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
I knew it! This picture... I'm the one who drew it.
What?
You drew that?
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. All this time, I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside of me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor.
First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger? This should be interesting. Emma's recollection.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then, there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw Blue Badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
This is certainly most unusual.
Objection!
Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year.
That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, well, the design is...
Stop! Please, don't pursue this any further. Lana!
What is the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Scar. We have already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. Emma's recollection. Alright, gonna save. Are you sure about this? Of course! See? I even drew a picture of him here.
But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The Blue Badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable.
I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember!
Oh, brother. Just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion.
Tell us! Where in the room did you see him dancing?
His shadow? No, go back. So you mean you didn't actually see his face? With all its winning smile and all?
That's right. But I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken.
That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did.
Oh. And I suppose you have an explanation? If so, then by all means, please tell us what the shadow really was.
What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who's this Blue Badger really? I just might know. I mean, we're gonna have to say it anyway. Anyway, the Blue Badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture. Yet, she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the Blue Badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room.
Mr. Wright?
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw that instant? Please show us this mysterious Blue Badger lookalike.
This thing looks weird.
Take that!
The mysterious Blue Badger was in fact this.
But that's... what exactly is that?
I believe it's some sort of char.
But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the Blue Badger.
Indeed it doesn't. And as it stands now, it's just a plain char. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint.
Our viewpoint?
I've got to show them that the correct angle to look at this thing. This is gonna take a while. Okay, rotate. Please be good. Yes. Well, is this a miracle or what? No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the Blue Badgers.
No! It can't be! Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this.
Objection!
Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point?
What do you mean?
So the badger thing was actually just this jar. That doesn't change anything.
Objection!
I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything.
Indeed. Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar?
The location? Well, I don't think I need to save, because it's not there. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar.
At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright.
Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar?
Where?
The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
Objection!
But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself.
Objection!
Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what exactly transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office.
Objection!
Are you implying the murder moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office?
Yes.
Why would he do that? There's no reason.
Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion
is that there was a reason. Do you know what the reason was, Mr. Wright? Finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she'd knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? That would have had to been the impact the man made when he was knocked out, when he was knocked into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? The suit of armor! Holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword! Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No! Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility? Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright? What's the matter? If events took place, as the defendant theorizes, the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Skye knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh no.
You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No!
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Skye, but given the circumstances...
Joe Talk
murdered Prosecutor Marshall.
How can you think it was Emma? How do you try to pin the crime on her?
Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, who wasn't you.
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have to prove have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly won't be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in this incident are dead.
We certainly can't get dead people to testify. Or can we? No. Not this time. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Touché, Miss Sky. Of course. That only leaves us with one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility? Goodness gracious, so much yawns. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another.
That's impossible.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left for you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? I've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind is in the evidence. This message from the deceased is already within our possession.
Mr. Wright! Will you stop at nothing to prove my sister is a murderer?
Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There's only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright. Please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
Yes.
Take that!
This is the message left by the deceased. Alright. I will be right back.
Alright, sorry about that. Let us get back to it. This is the message left by the deceased. Yeah, we read that.
This is that blue badger from before, right?
Oh. Is he going to just speak the killer's name?
If that thing could, I'm sure it wouldn't. I'm sure it would.
Looks like everyone's forgotten. This is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar.
It looks like someone wiped the blood away.
Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes, there is a line here, drawn in blood. So what you're saying is these dots were once lines?
Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message.
One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar when the lines changed direction.
Precisely so. And all we need to do is connect these points. Or use luminol.
And the
victim's message will become apparent. No!
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written, given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Oh, I just draw? Okay. Oh, I can't actually draw wherever I want. It's done.
Take that!
It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocent. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma.
So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life
Was Emma Skye.
See, Worthy, can't say I didn't warn you. Chief can't. Do you understand the implications of what you've done? What you're talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in that case, were you not? Miss Worthy, because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
Objection!
But Joe Dark, but Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know we were the defenders of justice? What? We're mere keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor and judge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. What's going on with the prosecutor's office?
Sent in an innocent deck. Okay, just
The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. Alright. Unfortunately, while we do have... It's not the usual ending space for streams. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, because my voice is kind of waning. So yes, we will go ahead and save. And we will go to the crypt. Alright, well, let us see who there is to raid. It doesn't look like anybody. Alright, well, with that, I say thank you guys, and I will see all of you next time. Bye-bye.